Buckle up and thanks for hopping on to another episode of the E-Ticket Talk. This is your all-access audio passport for the world of Disney parks, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney. Whether you're a Magic Key holder, a Castaway Club cruiser, or just mapping out your dream itinerary, you're in the right place. E-Ticket Talk is brought to you by Effortless Expeditions, a Disney-centered travel agency here to help you plan your next Disney vacation. Contact us today for a free, no-obligation quote. Wherever the destination is, they make it truly effortless. I'm your host, Ethan Bronson, and today I'm joined back in person at Effortless Expedition Studios, or Entertainment Studios, matter of fact. I'm joined by our normal crew today. I know why I got a little sleepy with my previous intro last time. And supposedly wanted me fired, but that just doesn't happen.
I don't want you fired. I want you demoted.
Since I'm the boss, I get to make the decisions here. So today I'm joined by Wyatt.
What's going on, people?
Austin.
Hey everyone, came to Tomorrowland for the future, but all I got was neon lights.
And lastly, Brody.
Hello, everyone.
All right, now for our icebreaker today, we need to choose our favorite churro cart.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of different options on the screen. We've got Senor Buzz. We've got Grizzly Peak Airfield, Willie's Churros. We've got Hollywoodland and Disneyland. We've got, I believe, Fantasyland Churro Cart, and we also have Frontierland and Walt Disney World. These are the options, but you also are happy to come up with your imagination. Something else that you guys like.
Nothing's ever going to beat Buzz Churros.
I was going to say Buzz Churros is my favorite.
Is that the one in the middle of Tomorrowland?
No, Senor Buzz is the one that's in Pixar Pier.
Mm-hmm.
Is the one in Tomorrowland churros, or is it just pretzels? The one that's like below the People Mover.
It's popcorn and pretzels is on. They're like two separate, like right next to each other.
And I'll have to go with Buzz as well.
Can we all agree that the churros in Disneyland are 1,000 times better than the churros in Disney World?
100%.
100%.
The Florida heat doesn't do well to the churros.
I do only have them in the Mexico Pavilion too, correct? Like pretty much.
Yeah, but to be honest, the Mexican churros, the churros in the Mexico Pavilion, I think are actually by a different company. Because a lot of this food and bev in the pavilion sometimes can be different companies rather than Disney itself.
Mm-hmm.
Another churro I wanted to point out was the California churros at Downtown Disney. That's where you have like those like the cookies and cream churro, and the I don't know, there's just like weird flavor like strawberry cheesecake churro, but that's a separate company. So
they're not very good, honestly. Like they charge like $8 for one churro. They're not like crazy or anything.
I'll tell you what though, the best thing I've had from that cart was they used to have the churro ice cream sandwich. That shit was fire.
Shout out the cookie dough truck in Downtown Disney and Disney World.
No, do not go there.
Shout out the cookie dough truck in Disney Springs.
It's vegan, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the cookie dough was.
Yeah, the cookie dough is awful.
Whoa.
All right, well, do we have a consensus?
Senor Buzz.
Senor Buzz.
I'll get behind Senor Buzz.
Senor Buzz.
So now I'm going to introduce today's series. We're introducing a brand new series that we're going to do over multiple episodes. You'll see how many episodes we're going to be doing. But Parkitecht, that's the name. Parkitecht is our armchair Imagineering segment where we redesign one land at a time from the U.S. Disney parks all across all 6 domestic parks. Disneyland, California Adventure, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and lastly, Animal Kingdom. We may do it in different order. We may just do it all at once. In total, there are 40 unique themed lands. Each episode, we take one of those lands and either add, refurb, or completely reimagine a ride, and then do the same with either a bathroom, restaurant, or shop. It's all about having fun, fixing things Disney hasn't, and dreaming up what's next with a little bit of a twist. So, I think up first is my idea. Feel free to interject once each person's done their intro. Yeah, sorry. Austin is doing our history today of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. That's going to be our first land. So Austin, take us away.
Thank goodness. I'm glad I was glad we're hoping we're doing that.
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to 1986. That is a quote from Walt Disney in 1955. So, Disneyland opened, and so did Tomorrowland. But fun fact, if you guys watched the Imagineering story, you would know that everything in the park was barely finished. So, Walt Disney was probably holding stuff together with duct tape and a lot of optimism and a lot of debt. Like a lot of debt. The land was meant to celebrate the future, but they didn't have the budget or time to build it. So the original features included that rocket ship that was, I don't know where this is going to go, but it was built by a previous German. And if you guys know during this timeline of what was happening, I'm not going to get into it anymore. And Autopia. So Walt's idea was, here's what cars might look like in 3 years. Yeah, wow. Crazy idea, Walt. And then
can I interject?
I would love to.
Do you know why Autopia was built? Like why it's supposed to represent the future?
To show what cars look like in 3 years from now?
No. It was to introduce the freeway system, which was a futuristic idea at the time.
Are you serious?
There
you go.
Wow. All right. Well, anyways, and then we get into, all right, I'm going to probably need to be corrected on this. Monsanto Hall of Chemistry. Is that correct saying?
That is correct.
A thrilling deep dive into plastic. Are you serious? What was this guy thinking? I am so confused. So, Walt's dream was to show us what the world would look like in 1986. Spoiler, that did not include Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, TikTok, air fryers, etc. Anyways, alright, let's get into the first glow-up, I guess you could say, of Tomorrowland, which was in 1959. When in doubt, add submarines and monorails. Sick. By 1959, Walt said, okay, we've got money now. Let's flex it. So we added the monorail system. That is sick. This was the first major expansion of Disneyland and Tomorrowland. The monorail was a futuristic, sleek, and mostly just a loop in a circle around the submarine voyage. And the submarine voyage, man, I was not expecting that it would look like literally a submarine from the war instead of a yellow tube of doom. So that's great. All right, and the vibe of this area was just, I hate to say it, Cold War futurism meets bachelor pad? Interesting. I don't know.
So, meets bachelor pad is one of the funniest things you've ever said in your life, Austin. I have a question about the submarine. Did the submarine actually go underwater, or did it just like cruise around halfway in the water?
Listen, man, we're not getting ready to pixie dust here. It goes underwater.
It gets underwater. All right, and there's lots of brush metal, lots of optimism, slight chance of radiation. We're not going to get into that part. Anyways, let's get into 1967 to 1980 Tomorrowland. Now we are serious. It's the future, but a little groovy, guys. So 1967 brought the first full Tomorrowland makeover, and it slapped, okay? This is what people call the white and silver Tomorrowland, or Space Age Tomorrowland. So what changed? You know, what changed in everything? The debut of the iconic People Mover that we still see today, a slow ride that somehow felt very advanced, and now it's very slow. It doesn't even move. All right. Then we have adventures through inner space. I didn't even know this ride existed until Brody brought it up last episode. So if you guys haven't seen that, go and check out last episode. So you shrink down and go inside an atom or something. I don't really know. Anyways. Then we have, this can't be right. It says the Carousel of Progress. That cannot be right. That's Disney World.
Nope, it is right.
It is right.
Oh, okay. My bad, guys. This script was wrote very quickly. Oh, okay. So, anyways, from the Great World's Fair and slaying the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. That one was good. That one was very, very good. So, anyways, yeah, Space Mountain came out too. The line went out to the front of the park. Really long line.
I have an interjection.
Let's hear it.
I find it quite ironic that you said this was a white and sleek Tomorrowland, and there's a brown Space Mountain in that picture.
Well, you know, the People Mover's white. The little, I don't know. Oh, I don't really know what to tell you from there. Well, anyways, 1987 to 1998. So let's put some gold on it and let's make it futuristic, as you guys can see by the new Astro Orbiters, but that was called something else. By the late 80s, people realized 1967 vision of the future was now in the past. This is gonna become a reoccurring theme here. Anyways, so Disney said, let's refresh this. This era had a strong case of we don't know what the future is gonna be, but you know, here's some neon lights. Okay, so this future had Star Tours. Brody talked about this last episode. The future now included lightsabers and motion sickness. I guess a lot of people get motion sick on this ride. Don't you, Wyatt? Don't you get motion sick?
No, I don't. I don't get motion sick at all. I consider motion sick like for the weak. I don't
Wow.
get motion sick. I'm anti motion sickness.
Alienating the audience.
I other those who have motion sickness problems.
Wow. Well, if you get motion sick, let's hit a like, okay, boys and girls. Anyways, now we get into some rough waters here. Captain EO. Okay, Michael Jackson. Okay. All right. Anyways, so we have space, we have lasers, we have glitter, and possibly a dance war with a trash monster. And if you guys don't know, this cost more than I'm pretty sure a few of the Star Wars movies. So that was interesting. It was a 30-minute movie. Go watch if you haven't. It's free on YouTube. Anyways, and then came Tomorrowland '98, aka the bronze paint rock formations, weird palm trees, and people call it Tomorrowland meets Tatooine. I don't really know where I was going with that, but anyways, we have Star Tours. We have that cool pavilion-looking thing that's still just sitting there doing basically nothing.
That was Carousel Progress.
And then innovations.
And then innovations.
And this is innovations at this point. It's innovations. What do you guys think about innovations? Did you guys ever go in there when it was like all the cool houses and everything?
I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah, so when Innovations was created, there was actually Monsanto's House of the Future, which the pad is where Tinkerbell's meet and greet is. You can actually still see the foundation where Monsanto's House of the Future was. The whole house was made of plastic. And when they closed that down, because it was really losing its touch because it was made of plastic, they moved some of those House of the Future concepts to Innovations.
Not to be confused with House of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I remember like the Peter Pan stuff in there. They had like a Peter Pan story thing in there or something. It was like interactive. Like the room would have like pixie dust protected on the walls and stuff. And the House of Tomorrow stuff. Or House of the Future.
Yeah. And that last picture you showed of Space Mountain when it was painted gold, that's from this time frame that you're showing right now.
What was it originally painted? This was from 1907. When did it come out? 1950.
When it first opened, it was white.
Well, anyways, that's on me, guys.
You saying your slides wrong?
Well, let's get to today's Tomorrowland. Now featuring yesterday's Tomorrow's idea from today. Yes, exactly. So Tomorrowland is a mashup of future vibes, nostalgia, and space churros. Even though there's no churros there, it's pretzels. But I like to think they are churros because there's
churros there.
Good. No, there's not.
No, there's not.
Yeah, the dipping
there's
churro.
not.
Where? What are you doing?
Right in front of like the center walkway. There's churros.
The
I
center
don't
walkway
think that's
tomorrow.
true.
There's churros.
Oh wait, yes there is when you first walk in. Yeah.
They still
That's
have
like-
like the trash can that looks like R2D2 that drives around and stuff.
They
No.
do not. That's.
I think they moved
they
that
used to do that in California.
Really?
No?
They kind of moved it all over the place.
Yeah.
What was
They
that
have
guy's
one
name?
in
Trashy?
they have one in Tokyo right now. I think it's the same like system. They just ship the trash can around.
So, what is in Tomorrowland now? We have Space Mountain, and it's still just basically a dark roller coaster, and now we just slap Star Wars on top of it to make it cool, right? And we have Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters laser tag with aliens for points you'll forget about later. Not me, though. Not me. You know why? Because I've maxed that right out multiple times. Every time I go on it, guys. 99999. Anyways. Then we have Star Tours update with newer Star Wars planets and at least 12 versions of it. I'm pretty sure there's more. Brody, didn't you talk about that last episode? How many versions are there now?
Talked about all of it. They updated
Thousands.
a lot.
Really?
Yep.
And now we still have the Finding Nemo submarines, but we put yellow paint on it to get away from the Cold War stuff and the fears and everything. And, there's a bit of IP, a little bit of retro, and, a dash of just please fix this eventually when Disney has money and they're not just burning money through Disney Plus, and yeah. So, anyways, tomorrow's never finished, and that's kind of the point. It's always reaching for what's next, even though that's kind of just a pointless loop of just burning money. Even when it misses, it keeps trying. That's what Walt wanted, a land that moved forward. This is a quote by Walt Disney, and sometimes forward involves a flying... This is not a quote from Walt Disney. This is a quote from me, I guess. And sometimes forward involves a flying taco, a glitching robot, and a waiter that we'll get in later. And a pilot has no idea what's going on. So anyways, that is the whole overview over the history of Tomorrowland. So this is a map of today's Tomorrowland. What is everyone's thoughts about Tomorrowland now before we get into, what we want to change about it? What does everyone think about Tomorrowland? How do you feel when you enter Tomorrowland?
I think Tomorrowland's where you go first so that you don't have to go back later on in the day.
I'll say this. I think the vibes at Tomorrowland at night, pretty immaculate.
I go there.
I feel like it's quite dead at night for whatever reason. I feel like people have already rode Space Mountain. You can get on Star Tours in a 5-minute wait. You can get
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
Usually.
Buzz Lightyear, you can get on 5 minutes. I love to go to Tomorrowland to go ride Autopia. There's a lot of Autopia haters out there, but I stand for Autopia.
I feel like Disneyland's Tomorrowland has the best auditory theming out of many of all the Disneyland parks. I know when you're there, you just constantly hearing all the space noises above you and like
So good.
the speakers and the music. I think adds another layer that you don't really hear a lot. And eventually on Tomorrowland, yeah, you do hear noises, but it's not so much this kind of like constant theming music to it that really stands out.
That's the music you're listening to right now.
There you go.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's playing right now while we're talking. You can't hear it?
I love this part. This is my favorite part of the song, actually.
Yeah, I'm a big late night Tomorrowland fan, and I stay towards the front. Like, I really like the low wait times for Star Tours and Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Just because, and it's just right across from each other. There's not many other sections of the park, like Frontierland is by the water, all that, so there's not really a place like that where you can just go back and forth between the sides.
I mean,
So
What do you think,
I
Austin?
did. I know you, Wyatt. You did the Jedi youngling thing a while ago, right?
Yeah. I barely
Yes.
remember it. I was very young,
A
but yeah.
while ago.
Yeah.
They haven't
You
done
did too, Brody. So what's there now? They don't do that anymore, do they?
It's
that.
that.
Maybe during Star Wars nights.
yeah, they probably have something. They don't have like the Jedi training like they used to. There's like
Yeah.
dance parties that happen there
It's
sometimes.
just on that backstage kind of thing they have.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a great place to grab some chicken fingers at Galactic Grill.
They had a lightsaber show. Is the same one they have in Disney World by their Star Tours. I don't think they do it there either.
No, they stopped doing it at the same time.
But yeah, so it used to be at Tomorrowland Terrace, and they used to give printouts, I think, for doing it. I have a printout.
Yeah,
from
you
Jedi-
got like a "You are a Padawan."
Jedi Academy one. So I don't know where you got that from, but I remember having that.
I'll tell you what, the lacking of the ability to use old space is really frustrating. You see that Innoventions building right in the middle. For people that are listening, Innoventions is taking up like a solid fifth of that land. Autopia takes up a lot of land. It's being used, but it's quite large. People Mover Track is moving through the whole thing, not being used. There's portions of Space Mountain Queue that's not being used. So yeah, that part's pretty frustrating.
You really just can't go out in any direction
No.
because there's just big structures in each way out there.
I mean, I think it adds to the aesthetic that you're
Yeah.
kind of engulfed, but at the same time, there's so many more things that you could be doing and spending time in Tomorrowland, and you're just not. And one of the attractions has its own land across the park.
Yeah, I do like the layout though. I do like the curve,
Yeah.
to the right to go to Space Mountain, and then the flow of traffic around
Mhm.
that shop in the middle.
Yeah.
The layout's good.
All right, do we want to get into it?
Let's go.
Okay, so let me preface before you turn the slide, Austin. I'm starting off with the restroom. It's pretty futuristic.
Wow.
Take us,
Do they hold the Formula IP?
huh?
Do they hold the Formula IP?
No. Take us to the slide. We've got Wreck-It Ralph, the upload portal.
Oh my!
Wow.
So, as you can see, you've got the bandwidth station, and you've got the cache connection. Is that what it says? I can't remember.
I don't know what it doesn't say anything.
So yeah, imagine a bathroom filled with UV lights. So
A bathroom full of black lights, really.
yes, you're uploading information as you
Oh my goodness.
I don't have much of the theming down. For the men listeners up there, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the trough system, powered down by black lights. I think it would be fantastic. The only other theming I have in there, there are no paper towels, even though I am a fan of paper towels. This is why. There's a big red button, and on the big red button, for your air to hit your hands, to dry off your hands, It's the download center.
Wow. Are we gonna have like Fix It Felix in the bathroom for when you need to fix your pants because you held it in too long during Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run?
Or Wreck-It Ralph comes into the stall next to you and just goes, "I'm gonna wreck it." That's interactive.
So this is obviously themed after Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph breaks the internet.
Dude, I can't believe the upload portal is so funny.
There is a specific location. So this isn't an addition. This is a change. As you guys know, if you finagle your way through Tomorrowland, there is a bathroom right next to Autopia that's not themed at all. Imagine the upload portal right there.
I like it.
Wow.
This obviously isn't
Absolutely
going to be as in depth as my ride, but any questions for your Imagineer?
I like the idea of, you would say you are exporting the data from yourself.
Streaming.
You're streaming. You are, yes. Thank you, Brody. Thank you. You are streaming the data from yourself into the upload portal.
One would say it's content creation.
You could call it that. I love it. I love the theming of it. I think it really much fits the Tomorrowland vibe.
I think it would really catch on. Oh, I gotta go upload. I think
it would catch on too. You can make a shirt. The shirt. I just got that uploading in Tomorrowland.
Right.
Wow.
I think
Are
it
we gonna have,
really
like a little uploading bar, like on the urinals and everything, or like in the stalls.
as it's
like-
filling up.
Yeah.
I really think it captures what Disney's lacking, which is strongly themed restrooms, and I really like this.
Well, there's only one that I can really think of.
Tangled. The Tangled restroom's really good.
There's the
but
one in Star Wars.
Star Wars, I think,
it
is
doesn't
really
even
good.
say restroom.
Star
You have to know. You have to learn how to speak their language to get in.
Oh yeah, because the music in the Galaxy's Edge bathroom, that one's like it's got like a radio station, right?
Yeah, it's a different one. It's the one that's in the like shopping area
Mhm.
where there's like cuts in between the music, not the cantina one.
Yeah.
Does this correlate with your ride idea?
No, this
Because
is
if
not.
not, I just thought of a ride idea that I should have done.
Which is?
Does anyone do anything with Autopia?
Yeah.
Does it relate to this at all?
No.
You could have totally done Vanellope's race.
I thought about it, but I just didn't think it was very Tomorrowland-esque.
Mhm.
This was Tomorrowland-esque.
Sure, yeah, that's very first record off.
So, after you've uploaded, you make your way to Wally's Axiom Transit. It's taking over the People Mover. So, what's the theming here, guys? Well, as we know, as a larger person myself, this is directly themed to the human transport mobiles in Wally. You sit in, more than happy to bring food. I'd love to tell a great story about bringing food onto a ride. So, this was back in 2021. This is over in Epcot. Wyatt had just bought a massive chocolate bar, and he made himself sick because he ate the whole. His challenge was to eat the chocolate bar before the end of the ride. So it'd be the same
No,
experience.
that
same,
was on Figment.
yeah, it's said
And Wyatt
Figment.
talked about this last episode where you got
I
really
was
sick
talking-
trying
we're
to eat
talking
on
about
Figment.
yeah.
Oh, really?
That's a funny side story.
So yeah,
You don't listen.
Wally's Axiom Transit. You can go to the next slide. So here's the loading station. So you get on that little robot for IP violations. It couldn't look exactly like Otto, which is the AI steering wheel. So he'd be staring at you as you're loading the vehicle. You kind of waddle your way into the vehicle. And yeah, it's the same track as the People Mover. I couldn't show it on the concept art, but I had this grand plan of removing the clock tower that nobody can figure out how to tell the time, and it would be Earth. It'd be like one big sphere of Earth, and my love of water features. The water feature would be pushing the Earth up into the sky, and then you'd like go through Earth. As you load.
I think that I have a fun addition for this. I think the queue should be full of food. Like, all the food carts you can imagine in the queue. You can just buy all the food you want in line, waiting for this ride.
Yeah. There was one other aspect I wanted to talk about. Oh, it is going to play exclusively elevator music the whole time. There's not going to be any story to it. There's not much to One to the People Mover in Disney World. But it would take you through Star Tours, because all that same system's still there. You can still peek into Star Tours. I don't think that you can peek into Buzz Lightyear anymore just because of how the queue's been done. You used to be able to look into when it was...
No, I think you still do go to.
Wasn't it the volcano one?
Yeah, you still go on a Buzz Lightyear.
Oh,
The last
okay.
time I went on it, you went to Buzz Lightyear for sure.
So you would have that. It used to take you into the Carousel of Progress / Interventions building. There's nothing there right now. Yeah, and I think it'd be great too because what's specific to Disneyland is the People Mover track. At one point, you've got the monorail, the People Mover, and you've got Autopia all next to each other in like 3 different levels. I think that aspect would be super cool. There's a lot of people on the internet that love to bring back the People Mover, so I had to do it. And what better way than to do it in America?
So we're not changing anything about the track. It's just the exact same People Mover track, just with Wally.
Yep.
Is Wally on it?
No, it's not even Wally. It's just the chairs from the movie.
It's just the chairs in the movie.
And the food.
And the food.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's all I got.
I like
Well,
I love it.
I think this
Do
is...
we give that a thumbs up or a thumbs down? What are we thinking about everything?
I would wait. I'd wait 15 minutes for it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'd
I would
give it a
definitely wait 15 minutes for that bathroom.
I definitely think the upload center is my better idea.
100%.
I do like this idea a lot.
All right. So now we're going to get into what I have cooked up here. And what I was kind of hinting to towards the intro and all the history of Tomorrowland is that Tomorrowland has a problem. You walk in expecting the future, but instead you just get outdated stuff. And maybe Tomorrowland isn't about what's coming, but maybe it's about what's always going to be there. What's never going to change, no matter the year. Bad Wi-Fi? Probably. Theme park bathroom still mysteriously out of toilet paper? I have experienced that so many times.
So many.
World hunger? We're going to go over that one very quickly. And eternal war over pineapple on pizza. Okay? So, what I have brought in is to replace the Galactic Grill, right? Yes, the Galactic Grill. We have the Glitch Grill. Now, this is a restaurant torn between utopia and dystopia and a lunch rush. So this is kind of hinting towards the idea that we're never going to have a true utopia or true dystopia, just something in between. So the concept of this is it's run entirely by robots, and half of them are just perfect, and then some of them are just rusted, confused, and possibly haunted. So the outside of this, we're going to replace it with the Galactic Grill outside Space Mountain. I think this concept art did it pretty well. So let's get into what it's going to look like on the inside. On the left side, we have the sit-down side, which is going to be the Utopia side, because they're going to come serve you, you're going to have a nice time, and you don't have to leave a tip. So it's going to be clean, calming, chromed out, and AI voices whispering in your ear, enjoy your meal, citizen. And then we're gonna have the right side, which is the quick service side, which is also the dystopia side. We're gonna have rusted walls, glitchy signage, and waiters that say "oops" a lot.
Can you explain the photo on the right for us?
I'm not done. And if you sit down with this quick service, tables are gonna be slightly slanted, or they're gonna be slightly, off balance. So anytime you put any weight on the table, it's just gonna go, And then we're going to have this bot right there, if you guys are watching this on the YouTube. His name's Melvin. And Melvin takes your order, and then he forgets it 5 seconds later. So you're going to have to wait in line, and then wait in line, and wait in line. Just keep going over and over and over again.
Name the robot?
Why would anyone go on the quick service side?
It's quick. It's
Well,
supposed to be quick.
That you forget your orders, you constantly have to battle in line to get your right order. It seems like it's gonna take so long.
And if you go to the sit-down side, the Utopia bot's gonna be like, "Oh, your macros are uploaded. You can see everything you've been eating." If you go to the dystopian side, "Oh, you want a gluten-free anxiety, right? What are we talking about here?" So I think this works perfectly, where we're never going to see a perfect one of these. We're going to see something in between, so they never have to update it. What do you guys think? This is
I think
just
this is the
perfect.
greatest restaurant in Disneyland history.
We need to traumatize more kids, dude. You bring that side of
It's
Disney back.
It's like you mixed my two least favorite things in Disney World. Annoying people in line for food restaurants and the people who work on Rise of the Resistance. And they came together for a restaurant. I love it.
Wait, I have a question actually.
Mhm.
What would the food difference be for the quick service? Because obviously I see you got
Aha. I'm not done here.
Oh,
we
wow.
have the terraform tacos. They're served on meteorite, warmed on tortillas. And we have the rust bucket burgers. One half grilled, the other half we don't know. So one side, you might get grilled. The other side, it's going to be very medium rare. Or just rare. And then, this is on either side, because the kitchen, we don't know what's going on the backside of the kitchen. If you guys order the malfunctioning molten lava cake, you're sometimes going to get a nice, Chili's lava cake, or sometimes a solid. So, that's what we're going to have here. It's a gamble. It's a roll of the dice. Thoughts, everyone?
I think it's
Would there be any
One of a
music
kind.
difference between the two?
Oh, well, that's for your imagination. I kind of really like the Tomorrowland music. I don't know what the glitch grill would be like.
music.
It
I like
would just
that.
be really distorted.
It's
and,
really-
slowed
Yeah.
down.
It's played in reverse. It's played in reverse on the quick service side.
This is excellent.
So what do you guys think like food should be here? Like, what do you think? Just burgers and fries, like the Cosmic Grill, just like chicken tendies and mac and cheese, or what?
The evil side, not to call it the
It's not evil.
side.
See, that's appropriation right there. It's not evil.
I think it should have the churros, but only the ones that like fall out the paper right after you buy them. So right after you pick up the churro, it just falls out the paper onto the ground. I think those are.
Is there a price difference between the two? I think that should be discussed. Is it cheaper to eat on the quick service side compared to the sit down side?
Yeah. So when you go to the sit down, you order everything, you pay, and good to go. On the quick service side, every time you say something, they're gonna flip over the screen. It's gonna ask for a tip.
I love it.
Then a robot just puts his arm on your shoulder until you press something high on there.
Well done.
All right.
This is great.
Well, now for the next one, which is going to replace Star Tours. Sadly, it can't be there anymore. This is not Star Wars Land 2.0 or 1.0 or whatever it's going to be. It can't be there anymore. So we're going to replace the ride system. You can call this a big refurbishment, if you will. This is going to be called the Cosmic Courier, but what ChatGPT could not come up with was Goofy's Cosmic Courier, because I guess they can't say Goofies. So, this is the galaxy's most ambitious and underqualified food delivery service. Okay? So, what is going to happen here? It's going to be the same sort of system. You walk in, you're loading in, and what's going to happen is we're going to take a little parody of Goofy's Sky School, of where Goofy's going to teach you to fly, but instead he's going to teach you how to deliver food throughout the galaxy. So, welcome to the ride system here. Goofy's gonna be like,
you look so
yeah.
good.
Look at that. So
Goofy,
you
what
guys
happened?
are gonna go through the universe, and shortcut, it goes wrong all the time. You end up with a pocket dimension filled with floating onion rings and space bees or whatever. What's gonna happen. And you go to the drive-thru to get up the food, and you try to make a delivery at Mach 7, but you end up crashing into a floating chili dog, It's just, everything goes wrong. And then finally, towards the end, when you finally make it through every single thing, you finally realize you put the food upside down in the back of your spacecraft, so it's all ruined, and you get no tips. Boo. The signature feature of this is the ride vehicle is going to jerk sideways, that's slapping your own dashboard and everything. Burger flies towards you in the 3D screen. Soda geysers are going to erupt in the vehicle. It's going to be 4D, not even 3D. We're going to update everything. And AI voice yells at you, tip not included.
Tip not included.
I have a question.
Yes.
The ride vehicle. So it's not the same Star Tours ride vehicle?
It's the exact same ride vehicle.
Oh, okay.
It's
Is
just
Goofy in the
Goofy's gonna
chair?
Take you with his. So like instead of like C-3PO, it's gonna be Goofy. Be like, all right, everyone, I'm gonna teach you how to deliver food efficiently and effectively.
I think a 3D Goofy animatronic would scare me a lot. I think it'd be great.
Are you keeping the rebel system the Star Tours has?
Yeah. So in this one, like instead of like when Yoda or someone hops up on the what is it, holocron, or no, what is it called, the
Hologram.
like the hologram. Yes, sorry, hologram. Instead, we're gonna have a little glitchy video that appears of the CEO or someone else, just like taking a fire extinguisher to a burning burrito or something.
Or something.
That's good.
Man.
That's good.
Or something.
That's what we're gonna do, guys. And then in the end, when you crash land, a robot janitor is gonna come by and sweep up everything. Goofy's Cosmic Courier. What does everyone think about it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. How do we feel?
I love it. I think it's weird we've all taken a very food-heavy approach to our
I was
first
thinking that's what-
3
it's really well.
changes to Tomorrowland. So what if some of like the planets they're gonna go to along in the Cosmic Courier?
You know, like you could go to like Saturn, but instead of Saturn with the rings, it'd be like onion rings, you know, or I don't know.
Genius. This is amazing.
Yeah,
So it's like Star Tours meets DoorDash.
And
exactly.
I like how we're kind of replacing the Star Wars, but there's a Star Wars land. This is something that would be in Toontown, now brought to.
That's true.
Tomorrowland.
That is true.
So now we're bringing another separate land here.
You know
just
what?
To replace them.
You know what I would say this is like? This is not really like Star Tours. This is like Body Wars, which is the same ride system.
True.
Collab with Food Rocks.
What's Food Rocks?
Food Rocks was this show where you would watch like asparagus sing.
Okay, so VeggieTales.
Basically, it was an Epcot.
Okay, one of the many beautiful things Epcot has done throughout the.
It was in the land
history.
pavilion.
Old Epcot is like a blur. Like I've just heard a word about it. I can't even comprehend.
Well,
what,
Food Rocks, there
Horizon
was like tomato singing and asparagus rapping.
Tomato, that is.
Potato singing. I like this though. I like this.
I like it a lot, Austin. I like that.
I mean, at least Goofy will give you a seat with some air conditioning and a snack and a good reason to laugh, right? Lots
Do you
of
think this makes this with the wait time longer or shorter than it is?
Longer.
way longer. People are gonna beat out to the front of the park.
Wait,
This
wait,
is
wait. I
e-ticket
actually have a
only.
question for you. Yeah, is there randomization?
Mm.
Are we keeping the Matrix system?
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna keep the Matrix system. Like,
What are you gonna
Goofy
do about
movie?
when you first walk into the ride? 'Cause, Star Tours right now, you have that grand like lobby.
Yeah.
So like in that like system, like where it's like, oh, next boarding Tatooine, it's gonna be like the announcement system saying, oh, this guy's gonna give you a $20 tip. Oh, a $10.
Now
tip.
serving cheeseburger.
Yeah, like things like that. And then it's gonna be like different restaurants and everything, and just it's really gonna push a lot of people towards the glitch grill as well. It's like a never-ending cycle.
So we love synergy.
In the shop, it's still Star Wars at the end because
Oh yeah.
he chose the grill. So the shop after is still Star Wars right when you get off.
Well, Disney has to make money with their IP somewhere.
Right.
They gotta
Still an
stop.
X-wing right when you get off.
Beautiful.
Round of applause.
This is great.
All right, I think Wyatt, you're next.
My next.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Oh, never mind, Brody, you are next.
Brody. Okay.
This is me. Okay. So when we first were talking about doing this series on the podcast, when we brought up Tomorrowland, I instantly thought of an idea. I had a dream, okay? So that's why I kept pushing for Tomorrowland after we were throwing around if we were going to do it or not.
Yeah.
And I almost changed it because I'm a really big Lightyear fan. So I was going to make it based off the new Lightyear movie. But I was like, no, I'm going to stick to my original idea. So this is bringing it back to that retro futurism, classic Tomorrowland feel. Okay? So you go in the queue for the ride. And it's stuff from all different rides. Existing, non-existing, the old ones. There's stuff from old Tomorrowland rides. But like every Disney attraction. There's stuff getting fueled by the batteries from Buzz Lightyear's ride. There's just everything.
Are they singing asparagus and wrapping tomatoes from Food Max?
They're all
Food
gonna
Rocks.
They're all gonna make appearances. Okay. And this is all run by the Time Stability Core. Okay. So this is a new section. Okay. So you get into this ride vehicle, or actually, I can go over the cast here. Pretty much every Tomorrowland character to ever exist is going to be in this ride, and every scientist that has ever been on a Disney ride. Okay? And I'll get into more of that with the pre-show.
It's like the Illuminati.
Yeah. And on the right side, that image, that blue blob that we're seeing from here, it is a clock with a hammer and nail as the hands of time because they're fixing time. It's the blue was a little too much on the drawing there, but it gets the point across. And on the left, that is the futuristic ship, because obviously we don't need to go to the future. Tomorrowland's already in the future. So that's where we're starting off. So anyway, as you're going through the wait for the ride, you're getting all these news reports of these anomalies happening. And it has the House of Tomorrow in the pre-show. And there's all these weird things happening. Dinosaurs running around. crazy stuff happening. And we get interviews with like Tom Morrow.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Morrow. We get like all these different characters that you would know like very nichely. So anyway, you get on the ride, and you can go to our next slide. So on the left, these are repurposed people mover vehicles. The seats are turned around, so this is now more like a Rise of Resistance kind of seat setup. Okay, the rockets on the back are from the middle of Tomorrowland, the rockets that spin around.
Oh,
And on the bottom it says property of the Imagination Institute from our lovely Ride with Figment over in Epcot, okay? So you go into this room on the right, and this is kind of the pre-show. You stop in your car. Think about the old Ellen ride when you would stop and you would watch that 12-minute video.
Yeah.
So you go in there, and all these people come up on the TV, and it's all those scientists. It starts with the guy who did the dinosaur ride. I think his name was like something. It was like Nigel Channing, and he does the puppet. Hello there.
Yeah.
Just for nostalgia reasons, because I'm gonna miss dinosaurs so much.
Yeah.
And he gets pushed out of the way, right? And they inform us that someone has stolen the time machine from the Dino Institute that we use on the dinosaur ride to go back in time. Someone has stolen it, and they're using it to mess up time and try to make sure Disneyland never happens. And with no Disneyland, there's no Tomorrowland. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the crazy plot line. But everyone's on there. The guy from, like, I forget what his name is, but the scientist from Figment.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting all those characters to come back. We're getting the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a lot like the Figment queue. You see the rooms with all the scientists and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, you travel through time, fixing all these anomalies, and then at the end of the ride, very end of the ride, see Walt giving a speech. And you have fixed all the problems, and Walt's giving his first Disneyland speech.
Oh.
And they say, okay, I think we fixed everything, and then they take you back to Tomorrowland.
I love
And
it.
that's the whole ride.
I love
That's good.
it.
That's
I
really
love the
good.
theming.
You know why I like this? Because this is like a nostalgia ride. And I feel like every single time a beloved attraction goes away, you can kind of like put its way in there, you know?
Yeah. It would just be a celebration of all these different rides.
So
I
we
love
have to redo the people mover track. Like it's not.
Yeah,
gonna
where-
go through all
where is
these
this
things,
going?
like-
This is not the People Mover track. This is a ride vehicle. This is a whole new attraction.
So this is an addition. All right.
Yes, this is a complete.
So like we're bulldozing innovations, or gonna put something there.
I would think that it would go where Innovations is.
Yeah.
I think that's the only real open blank spot right there. But yep, and then like you could have the World's Fair. You could really go anywhere with the time machine. And I don't know if it'd be mostly screens or animatronics or what. But yeah. Anyway, that was the idea. That was
Beautiful.
I like the use of the cart. I like how you have rockets from Astro Orbiters on
Yep.
the back of it.
Yep.
And I like how you just used all the other parts from Disney rides.
I just made it look like Luke's land speeder. That's why I put
That's
the rocket
okay.
in the middle.
Maybe
That's good.
maybe you can like drive past the partner statue, but instead of Walt holding Mickey's hand, it's Oswald's hand.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
That is good. Just like an alternate Tomorrowland thing.
Yeah.
That is really cool. You could just do tons of stuff. Like you're saying,
It's like
you
a
could just
minion
update it
instead
as
of
you
Mickey
go.
Mouse.
Like you're saying, you could just update it over
If you
time.
get the bad ending of the game
Right.
for the ride.
But I don't know. I just thought it'd be a great celebration of Tomorrowland.
That was fantastic.
That's what I was thinking. Is there any more questions?
No?
What are you gonna do to stop Disney from making this like a TVA type of ride?
True.
This is not TVA at all. It's just not. It's not Marvel at all. And I made the ride, so they can't change it.
Good point. Good
I'll
point.
send a Figment after them, and he'll deal with it. And then this goes straight into my restaurant idea. Okay. So this could replace Pizza Planet. It could, because if it's at Innovations, it's right next to it.
Yeah.
as well. So I couldn't get the AI image to generate as well as your guys's, but it would just be food from all different times.
What is future food?
It would pretty much
Glass
be.
of
Is that just
water.
a glass of water?
I don't know.
It's liquid calories.
But
Seed
it would
oils.
just be like more Tomorrowland themed future food, not the Star Wars land chicken nugget that's a square.
Yeah.
It'd be a
You have like
little more,
dodo bird turkey nuggets.
it would be more like what is the space like restaurant in Epcot now? Where you're the
Oh.
Space 220.
Oh yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
headache
Well, like that.
machine.
Pop rocks. You know what I mean? Probably more your desserts.
I have
probably
a
more
question for
frozen
you.
ice cream. Okay.
Is that a brick for the Industrial Revolution?
I just told it different time periods. I told different time periods.
the
I
meat
didn't tell it
brick.
anything specific. So I think there's also the Stone Age
So
on
to
there.
maximize productivity.
I don't know if
After you get off of the ride, you can go to the time traveler's table and you can order
Right.
the meat mass, which is the brick of meat that comes after. It comes from the
Right.
Industrial Revolution.
Sponsored by Wreck-It Ralph.
It's sponsored by Wreck-It Ralph and has all of the proteins and minerals you'll need for an effective day of
Yeah.
Disneyland.
In the Stone Age, this is after scientists bring mammoths back, and we're just gonna kill them and say
After they
You can
successfully
eat-
clone them.
you can eat a mammoth burger.
I don't know if the upload center is gonna like the meat mass from the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, and then it's called the.
No, that's why Fix It Felix is there. Fix It Felix is there to fix the toilets after you've eaten the meat mass and
Right.
you've corrupted the malware at the upload center.
And you'd have a giant clock on the roof. That's what that like circle towards the top is.
Mm.
So each pivot, it would just be like circling on the roof. And you could also make it
think-
interactive, like Rainforest Cafe. Like a
Ooh.
little something happens when it reaches that time period.
You should only be able to eat the food from the time period based on the clock.
You have to
So like if
schedule it.
you get stuck in Industrial Revolution, you're eating the meat
It's
mass.
at the very end. You're like, here's the best food, but you get there a little late and you're in Stone Age.
Oh yeah,
You're like,
you gotta be. It's like you gotta eat fast, or you're
Right.
gonna get taken to the Stone Age for
Just
the
a
meal.
caveman comes over, just hits your food with a club, and that's the end of it. Yep. That's,
I love
that's
That's
the
awesome.
whole
I love
idea.
that.
All right, my turn.
I think so. Wyatt, you're up next.
Alrighty. All right, tucked away in the back of Disneyland Tomorrowland, there's an attraction that sticks out like a sore thumb for a multitude of reasons. Not only is it a sore thumb because of the blandness and the boringness in the ride itself, you can hear it from a mile away, you can smell it from a mile away. It's nothing but an empty parking lot. Ladies and gentlemen, that ride is Autotopia. Okay? We all hate it. It's one of the most boring rides out there in Disneyland, in my opinion. I know Ethan loves it. I think he just loves getting his little driver's license and driving his little car.
I do.
My first act as a Parkitecht was to completely destroy this son of a to the ground and rise anew from the ashes. One of the best e-ticket experiences in Disney history. And I called that ride Autotopia. A name that I was very proud of.
This is a clever name.
This is
Thank
good.
you.
Wow.
Thank you. Autotopia is brought to you by Monster Energy, and it is the next thing in racing simulators. It's an attraction that has truly never before seen in Disney history.
Do you have more concept art?
Oh, I have more concept art, but let me get through
Oh,
the
okay.
first part. All right, so this is the outside of the building. I really wanted it to resemble kind of that test track feel, where you look at test track like, wow, this is a giant racing dome. You look at Autotopia, and you're like, this is where I take my 16-year-old kid to teach him how to drive before we go to the real road. All right, you can go to the next slide, Austin. While waiting in the queue for our ride, drivers will undergo a rigorous screening and training pre-show presented by AI hologram of the late Dale Earnhardt.
This is Dale Earnhardt.
He's one of the
The
most
NASCAR.
famous NASCAR racers of all time. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I think he died in NASCAR.
die.
Like he got in a crash on the track,
He did.
huge fireball, and died.
This is gonna have no problems.
So, Mr. Earnhardt is going to familiarize our drivers with the rules of the Autotopia circuit.
Is this AI Dale Earnhardt?
AI Dale Earnhardt Jr. So he'll interact with you. He'll say whatever he wants. Like, it's AI. It's
Oh, that's
fully AI. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr. for all of his many flaws, and I think he was very racist, so we need to watch out a little bit in the queue, but it's part of the allure of
history.
Dale Earnhardt. Yes, thank
the
you.
rocket. Yeah.
You know, the one rule of Autotopia is there are no rules. Besides the obvious rule, please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times until the ride is over.
You can drive anywhere,
It's a race.
but
Yeah.
you're not on a track.
Oh, no, you're not on a track.
Oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
Dale will familiarize the drivers with some of the traps along the track, as well as some of the tools these drivers can use to dispatch of other drivers. For example, drivers can pick up things like Goofy's grippy grabbers, which they can use to disarm some other riders' vehicles.
What was
Or-
that again? Can I just get
Oh, Goofy's grippy grabbers. So I'm picturing these like you pick a little Mario Kart ball of like energy, you'd hit it and like you get a little spinning thing and be like Goofy's grippy grabbers, and then you could like hit your button and then the grippies grabbers would shoot out of the front of your car, and they'd be like these giant Goofy hands, and they would like grab the person in front of your car and like toss them off.
toss them off.
Well,
I'm gonna clip that audio.
Just gonna toss them off.
there's also Duckles. Donald's dangerous duck bombs. Which
Wow.
you can throw in other cars, blow them up out of the way.
Okay.
And yes, so we've taken away your traditional boring Autotopia track, and we've implemented, what did I say? Racers are now racing in their very own and personalized race vehicles. After fully customizing your vehicle, they'll sit down, they'll lock in, and they'll put on our new prototype augmented reality goggles that'll simulate the racetrack for them.
And that makes their custom vehicle
Mhm.
and everything.
And everything.
I like this.
Now, drivers are gonna drive through a completely auto-generated scenery from all over the Disney universe. They're gonna dash through.
You just got to think of one land. You just got to think of one land.
Oh no!
Maybe
Tomorrowland. No, we're at Tomorrowland.
You could do the tunnel.
They're gonna
Frontier.
fly up Space Mountain. They're gonna dash through the Candy Kingdom.
Mm.
Okay. I like.
So my question for you
Yes,
is the turtle shell that looks oddly specific to Mario Kart.
it's a Mickey shell.
A Mickey shell.
That's a Mickey.
Yeah, that's a Mickey shell. Sometimes you gotta take what you can get when it comes to public IPs with
It's just
ChatGPT.
gotta be a Mickey ears that you just throw at people.
Like Mickey's mysterious mushrooms or something like that.
Well,
Nah.
maybe not.
At the end of the race, the winner of this race will be awarded the Monster Energy Master Pack, right? Because we are sponsored by Monster Energy. They'll be awarded two 24-ounce Monster Red Bulls to get them through their day.
Monster Red Bulls.
They're two 24-ounce Monster Energy drinks to get them through their day.
For every
And
winner?
no, there's only one winner. Well, per race there's one. Oh, well, yeah, every winner gets a Red Bull, or sorry, a Monster Energy drink. And then the first 100 winners of the day will get a Monster Energy T-shirt as well.
Oh wow.
And this derives
That's a lot of t-shirts.
rise. This goes directly into my restaurant. Next slide, Austin.
What in the world is
That's
this?
Gerald's gasoline grub. After our racers have tested the human limits of existence on the racetrack, park goers can hop on over to Gerald's gasoline grub, where they can chat out on a multitude of car-themed food items, as well as many monster-themed items as well, such as spiked monsters, monster slushies, monster meringue pie, monster energy butter popcorn,
meringue
as well as
pie.
monster mud pies.
Is there caffeine in every single one of those things?
Yeah, it's monster energy drink.
Clearly, you're missing it.
No.
So yeah, I was thinking, what's the biggest issue with Autotopia? And it's just the blandness of it all.
Just gotta wake people up.
You just gotta wake people up. And what wakes people up more than Monster Energy drinks and blowing up other drivers on their race cars?
I like this. And
Wow.
What was the goofy thing called again?
Oh, Goofy's Dripping Rubbers?
Yeah.
In my head, when I was making this idea, I wanted to really up the stakes, and I was thinking, the winner of the race, lifelong subscription, lifelong season pass to Disney World with a Club 33 membership and all.
Wow.
But I was thinking, if you lose the race, you die. Like, you dead.
Oh.
You dead. And there's people out there for Disney, but it would really test the limits of the true Disney adults.
And you become the next AI.
You become the next. You would replace Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the AI speech. I was only thinking the most daring Disney adults should attempt this ride,
Wow.
as it is called the most dangerous. What was my tagline? Go back, Austin. The
The
world's
deadliest
most
race.
dangerous place through the most magical place.
This is amazing. It
Wow.
was one of race.
One of those supposed to race,
The
obviously.
deadliest race through the most magical place.
And look at all right, got a little Space Mountain in the corner, and you got the castle on
nice.
the right, and you got that Pirates of the Caribbean thing. I'm assuming.
I also think this would make an amazing mobile game. This
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like a Disney mobile game that would totally exist.
Some live service game that Disney
Right.
can make.
That you just pay $5.99 for the Goofy car.
Mickey's Magical Kart Racers, something like that.
This is amazing.
This is beautiful. How many racers would be in each race?
There's a lot of people in that concept art.
There is.
There's a lot of people in the concept art. Well, it
Probably
depends. I'm gonna say let's go 24, 50. You're racing for a Monster Energy drink, so probably a lot of people.
Would the track be really flat, and then just your ride vehicle makes it feel because of VR helmet, that you're hitting jumps?
I was thinking, you haven't been on the Mario Kart ride at Universal Studios, have you? You would follow somewhat of a track, but you'll be seeing it all. You're seeing it all through your goggles.
I mean, I like.
That was a great job.
That was
job.
great.
So, my question to you guys: do we still have a cohesive Tomorrowland after all these ideas? Do we still have
if
the
we're adding-
essence of Tomorrowland after all these ideas have been
If
brought together?
all of our ideas in one cohesive Tomorrowland,
Yes.
oh my God, this is the greatest park in the history of existence. You're telling me, first, I could go. I'm trying to remember Austin's ride.
This is what
Goofy's like
Buckley Courier.
Goofy's Grubhub ride.
It's one food-related item.
Grubhub.
Goofy's Grubhub. You're telling me you can hop on Autotopia, you could drive through Autotopia, you can go over to Gerald's Gasoline Grub,
Right after your
pig out on some Monster Mud Pie,
story, yep.
then you can go absolutely unload in the upload station. Then after that,
You get hungry again. You go on the Wally ride.
you go on the wall. That's afterwards. That's after you've gone to Time
Yeah,
Traveler's
exactly.
tables and you've had your meat mass.
Okay.
You hop on the Wally ride.
Yep.
I think our Tomorrowland really captures the two issues of the world, which is boredom and world hunger.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think that you can't like fully fix Tomorrowland with one ride.
No.
Like the back of the park is still very much like old Tomorrowland,
Mhm.
other than Pizza Planet,
Because the thing about tomorrow is it always comes.
Yeah.
which is why we need time travel.
Well, and I think this was a good experiment because as I do think there's some great ideas here, some practical, maybe some not as practical. Tomorrowland in itself is a broken idea. Me and Austin this last summer went to Discoveryland and Disneyland Paris, and I think that is a great way to change Tomorrowland into a more practical idea. You're still able to have, similar rides. You're able to have super futuristic stuff or stuff like a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea walkthrough, but it's all in the decoration of steampunk. I think that's the only effective way that you can really do it. After seeing that Discoveryland, it just makes Tomorrowland look worse.
I would like to see Discoveryland one day.
We'll go. Effortless Expeditions will take an expedition.
1,000 subscribers.
Now, 1,000
going to
subscribers.
Paris.
And we're going to Disneyland Paris. On
I think
e-ticket
100K.
the greatest
100K
Disney
if you go.
podcast could never be released.
Yes, we're gonna lose track of how much stuff we promised.
Yeah.
I'm not promising
Yeah.
the Disneyland Paris, but for our Marvel fans out there, we are approaching the 1,000 subscriber mark. If we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark before 4th of July, we will be giving away a signed copy of this complete timeline of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, signed by every member of the Sacred Rewatch. Make sure you check that out. It's also on Effortless Expeditions or Effortless Entertainment YouTube. Also has its own designated podcast. But yeah, you guys got any more thoughts before we close it out for the day?
I think this is
No.
a segment.
Nope. Tomorrowland
Yeah.
just needs to be bulldozed.
Well, thanks for
Yesterdayland.
tuning in. This was a great episode. Next week we're going to be continuing this series, but it's not going to be an exact copy every week. So just tune in to figure out what we're going to talk about. Thanks for riding along. We'll see you real soon, and hopefully somewhere between rope drop and fireworks. See you guys.